Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good morning, no matter what time it is your time. I'm just grateful and thrilled that you're spending that time with me. This is Kingdom Queen Talk YouTube, and I am Lady Tay, the Vision Queen. Guys, we are going into the holiday season, and I did not want to miss the opportunity to be able to speak with you before we go through the holiday season, because the holiday season is a time where a lot of people who are fighting junk food addiction, a lot of times we are always given too many opportunities to slip back or to relapse. And I want to make sure that I am here for you to help you be able to be equipped and have the full armor on, the armor of God, as well as having a full armor in your mind to be able to offset some of those temptations, because they're coming, whether it's coming from your coworkers or your family or your not just your inner family in your household, but also your family that you're going to be visiting with. You know, they're used to the old you, they're not used to the new you. So that you have to give them grace on that. But at the same time, you have to have the vision in mind on why this is so important to you to be able to stay on track. Now we're not talking about being perfect, but what we're talking about is being able to control your impulses, control your addiction, so that you won't fall off the wagon. Because you don't want to put all this hard work in that you have been doing over the past, 6 months, 3 months to a year, or some people just starting. You don't want to put all that effort and time into something, and then you go through a relapse and don't know how long it's going to be for you to get back on the wagon. See, I've been there and done that. So I know all about that, y'all. Trust me, I'm preaching to the choir. I've been there, I've done that. And let me tell you, it's better to be on this side where you're able to rule over thyself first. Remember, that's what we're talking about. Ruling over thyself, ruling over yourself where you're not no longer a slave in your own body. And I know you remember when I talked about my testimony and how I talked about how I used to always feel like I was a slave in my own body, because my body, I was doing what my body want and not doing what I really wanted. See, I really wanted to be healthy and fit, but my body wanted the junk food, the sugar addiction, the junk food addiction. See, I wasn't addicted to just sugar, but I was addicted to junk food, period. The taste of butter with the bread on pretzels and chips and all kinds of savory things like that. And it was getting to the point where I couldn't control myself. And one thing about being a king or a queen is you have to learn to control thyself, to rule over thyself. Okay? And that's what I love to talk about. That's what I love to help equip you guys with. Whether you're a client of mine or you just watch my channel and just, we're like family. And that's why I share my testimony. God say that we are overcome by the blood of the lamb and the word of our testimony. Well, that's why I go so much into my testimony so much. And not only that, I want you guys to see, because a lot of times we don't see this, what it could be like if you just dial into your vision of being a healthy you and just focus for just a short part of your life, you'll see yourself changing. Your thought process will change. The things that you would love to change. See, some people think, okay, this you're gonna be deprived. Actually, you're not gonna be deprived. You're depriving yourself now. You're depriving yourself of all the potential, the joy, the extra energy you have to be able to spend time with your friends and your family and your children. You're depriving yourself now by sticking to eating the garbage. Okay, that's what I love to call it because that's what it is. It's carb garbage. That's why I call it garbage. Okay, there's nothing in life that's more important than for you to be able to get into your purpose. And the enemy does not want you to get into your purpose. So he distracts us with all these little things and put traumas in our life where we're depending on these things, whether it's drugs or alcohol or any kind of substances. And junk food is a substance. Sugar is a substance. And I've proven that, guys. So, I'm not saying, listen to me good. I'm not saying you can't enjoy yourself. If you get to the point where you are at your ideal weight and you have totally retrained your brain to be able to, you know, partake in certain things, certain activities where you can enjoy desserts and stuff like that. Once you have healed yourself here first, and you heal yourself, your body of insulin resistance, where you're down to your ideal weight and you have totally toned up and gotten into a fitness routine where you're able to, not saying go back to carb garbage, but every now and then you might be able to enjoy like a slice of homemade pie or something, or the ingredients is not it's not going to trigger you. Okay, but that will be probably down the line for some of you. And you know I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but I'm saying that you have to look at what's important to you now. What's important to you now is getting healthy again, getting totally healthy again. And that means sometimes you have to do therapeutic things as far as fasting to get rid of the garbage first. Remember, we talked about the miracle of fasting, okay? Fasting helps you get rid of the poisons and the garbage that's in your body so that your body can repair itself instead of your body constantly digesting food for a period of time. The same energy that your body will use to digest food, it will be using that same energy to rebuild your cell. Tear down the old cells first, like renovation. Tearing down the old cells first, catabolic, and then rebuilding new cells, new mitochondrial cells, new skin cells, new tissue cells. You'll be getting new tissue, new bones, all kinds of new structure over that time. That's why God tells us to fast. It's not just for spiritual purposes, but it's also mental and physical as well. You get rewards by being obedient. Jesus didn't say if you fast, he said when you fast. So, getting rid of the garbage, the sugar addiction, the garbage, all the stuff for a period of time, And getting into a fasting routine will help you change the mind, and the body will follow first. And you will be getting new cell tissues everywhere where you're going to be rejuvenating yourself. You will be renewing, restoring, and rebuilding yourself. That's why my book is called I Am Rebuilding Me, because that's going to be coming out soon, because it's going into detail in my journey on how I literally had to start rebuilding myself from one vision and one decision. And starting from that day forth, I had committed to restoring and rebuilding myself with the Lord now. I had the Lord's help to do that, okay? And that's what we talk about here at Kingdom Queen Talk. You know, what I talk about, everybody don't talk about. Now, you might go on some channels that talk about the fasting as far as how it's scientifically proven, like with autophagy and stuff like that, with rebuilding and renewing the body with the cells and the mitochondrial. But we talk about it from the spiritual side too, because it is spiritual. Science is only coming to discover what God has been talking about for thousands of years. Okay, there were people thousands of years ago that was into fasting. See, we think because we're in the 2024 and in this age that we're so much smarter than the people in the ancient time, but we're really rediscovering a lot of things that they already knew. Okay, like the Bible say, there's nothing new under the sun. That's why you hear about people like Socrates and Aristotle and all these, ancient philosophers, where they had schools of thoughts of people coming to them, and they would not even have class with those people unless they were fasting. Why? Because fasting makes you smart. Okay? Remember, your body is concentrating on rebuilding your cells where you're able to think straight. See, it takes a lot of energy to digest food, y'all, but it doesn't take a lot of energy to for the body to rebuild itself when you are not digesting food. Okay? That's why God was able to talk to me more during my fasting. And that's why, if you guys that have been through fasting, you can relate to what I'm talking about, and you could say, yeah, Lady Tay, right. I did was able to write poems and able to hear from the Lord more when I started fasting, and that's true. I was able to read books and all kinds of stuff more than I ever thought I could before when I got into the habit of fasting. So it's very important, guys. Well, anyway, I just really wanted to come on and say hello and talk to you guys before Thanksgiving.